This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Denver, Colorado. I'm here with Global Health Connections. Since 2003, this nonprofit has been connecting Coloradans to the world through public health projects. I'm here joined by the team. Guys, thank you so much for joining us here today. Let's begin a little bit with yourself, Blair. This was a passion you had back in 2003. You were an academic professor, entrepreneur. Quite honestly, this is something you pursued. Share with me a little bit, go back then, how this all got started for you.
Well, I was the director of the Center for Global Health at the University of Colorado, and we decided to have a community project, and we worked with Rotary, and we started Global Health Connections. So that was in 2003. 2006, we decided to roll it out of the university. It was decided that since the university is research-based, a middle school program like we have with the Global Water Challenge should probably be out in the community. That's when we became an independent not-for-profit.
Excellent. I mean, when I see the word connection, I think of really bringing people together. I mean, no other time like right now when people are almost craving unity, almost craving wanting to do something together. Do you think it's almost more important today that you bring people together to solve the global health issues?
Oh, no doubt about it. To do global health, you have to have people from all walks of life. And to do that, you have to connect them all so they can understand how they can fit in.
I mean, people have said that half of the solution many times is just understanding that there is a problem or an issue. Is awareness really something at the core of still what you do?
Oh yeah, definitely. We like to, that's why we have the reach out with the Global Water Challenge into the elementary schools in Denver, as well as in other countries that we have connections with from our board members and our volunteers.
Excellent. I mean, as a professor, let me ask you, these are students that are really learning beyond the book. I mean, they're out in the field, learning, organizing. Do you feel many times that is more powerful than sitting and learning a book?
No doubt about it. We need to get the students out there so they can see it. In many cases, it's very transformative for them, but it's really sort of a new way of doing education. Education up until now has been based on a particular discipline like political science or engineering or medicine. What we're doing here is we're starting with an issue, global health. It could be urban poverty, it could be population growth, but we're starting with global health, and then we're going to the various disciplines and professional groups and bringing them in so they can all share and learn from one another and attend to the issue.
In 2003, one of the first projects that was put together was the Global Water Challenge. Molly, let me ask you this. I've got middle school students myself. It seems to me they're at a great age when they're starting to ask the real questions. Is this really an opportunity for them to research and to basically study the water issues?
You are correct. Sixth graders are at a wonderful place to research and design their own project. They work in small teams. They decide what they want to work on. Some of them are local, some are national, some are international water issues. They work in small teams of 4 or 5 and spend about 6 weeks on the project. One of the wonderful things that we're able to offer are mentors from global health sector, particularly water experts. We also have a fair amount of the medical community involved. Some are in the more business area, and some are actual clinicians and practitioners. Come meet with the kids. One of the things they like to talk through is the effects of lack of water or poor water. So what does that mean for hygiene? What does it mean for ultimate health?
I mean, let me ask you, I know you have mentors out there as well. You even have judges that volunteer. So does it get kind of competitive for the students and something they actually enjoy doing?
Very competitive. It's fun to see. So the actual challenge, yes, they have worked up to the day and they compete 5 or 6 times amongst different teams of judges. And there's a very, stringent scoring rubric that the judges use, and then the different categories are tallied up, and winners are given certificates. Winners are then asked to perform their skit for the entire group.
Excellent. I mean, your organization really has events throughout the year, not only locally, but they benefit internationally as well. Recently, you had the Run for Health Haiti. I mean, this is a great organization, a great opportunity for people to raise some money, not only for the program, also for other people. Does this become kind of become also a fellowship time where people can get together.
Yeah, definitely. When they people volunteer and they help us with an event like the 5K for Haiti, we not only get to make new friends with people who care about things that we care about, but we also can come up with ideas for new projects, and it's camaraderie, and it's knowing that you've got shared awareness of the issues that affect global health around the world.
I mean, global health around the world. This is more than just local fellowship. This is international fellowship. I see places that are benefited like Haiti. I mean, Haiti, they go through a crisis, be it an earthquake or a storm. They get help for a short period of time. There's a small window there. This really boils down to what happens after that. Share with me the maternity center, how that was something that was developed.
Well, we strategically thought as an organization that for the first 7 or 8 years, we're doing education, helping students learn about development. And then we decided we should do development ourselves. I was already working in Haiti starting in 2007. The earthquake happened on January 12, 2010, and it happened to be where it happened. The epicenter for the earthquake was right in the city where I was working, Léogâne, Haiti, which is pretty near Port-au-Prince, the capital. The destruction was massive, 20% mortality rate. 80% of all structures went down. About 150,000 people died from the quake. What happened in Léogâne is people came from all over. The Japanese were there, the Israelis were there, the Venezuelans were there, the Americans, of course, were there, Spanish, you name it. They all came in to try to help. A lot of orthopedic care at first, a lot of PTSD also. But we also noticed all the health services had declined or had fallen apart. So for the first 6 months or so, there was quite a bit of health services provided as a reflection of the earthquake, like Doctors Without Borders, et cetera, were there. But then they started leaving, and we noticed that all the maternity care had pretty much gone away. We had started a project through the Fulbright Association, or I had, through the Fulbright Association, U.S. government, and we decided to make a maternity center. It took us 4 or 5 years of work. It's not easy working in a foreign nation. It's especially hard in Haiti. You have to get governmental approval. You have to hire people to build buildings. It's tough. It was really tough. A lot of ups and downs, but we were pretty dedicated to the project. We finally wrapped that up in 2015, right when Doctors Without Borders and their emergency hospital left town. They were there for 5 years, but their mission is for catastrophes. They had deemed that catastrophe to be over. So we picked up from what they had done, and the maternity center is working today.
For the ones that are benefiting, it matters all the while to them, for sure. I mean, really, this is like he said, strategically working out there, collaborating, working with others. You partnered up with a program called Children's Nutrition Program. Share with me a little bit about that program.
Ooh, I think that's better for Blair to answer.
Well, Children's Nutrition Program is sort of a sister program with us in Léogâne, and they do community outreach. They get up into the mountains where people have absolutely no access to any health professionals, and they have something called community health workers, and they help with malnourishment in particular. They go to find kids that are undersized and try to help the mothers understand what's needed in terms of protein and foodstuffs, et cetera. And so we've been working with them, and actually we just did some research with them to find out what percentage of kids were malnourished, and then we put an intervention into place to see if it might make a difference in their nutritional needs. And with that program, we're now moving into Kenya, maybe, or we're certainly talking about it. So what we've done in Léogâne isn't over. That was with CNP, which is out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. They will carry on. They know we're there. They know we're available to help out. But we've taken the skills we've learned there, and now we're applying them to another situation in Kenya. And that looks like it might be our future. We're sort of trying to decide that right now as a board.
Kind of exciting for those folks out there that donate to your programs, knowing that how many people are affected. That program you mentioned there, over 2,000 malnourished children have been affected, which is pretty impressive. But like he says, one program affects another program. It kind of almost takes on a life of its own. Is that what you have felt since you began in 2003?
Well, there's plenty of need out there. There's a lot of programs, and we talk to them all. We have to sort of sort through them to see which programs we think we can really benefit, and we can learn from it and carry it on. In this case, we did learn quite a bit from CNP. Now we're actually working with the University of Colorado and bringing in medical students and students from the School of Public Health, and they're going to help us in a lot of these projects. So we've sort of taken on more of a research side, if you will. I'm not sure where we're going to be in 5 years from now, but that's where we seem to be going today.
Excellent. I mean, kind of exciting to see students out there learning really in the field. Let me ask you, for these students that are able to work and learn, is there a certain age group that you accept when it comes to volunteering?
No, we'll take volunteers of all ages, especially here in Denver, and especially with the Global Water Challenge. Young people are very, we would love to have their involvement. But also we could take people that are teenagers over to Haiti, young people as well as any age really, and form projects and make a real meaningful experience. But yeah, I definitely believe that your volunteer work has more meaning once you know what the situation is like, who the people are, and then you can get involved because it's it's a sustainable program and it's going to go on into the future.
We live in a technology world, yet face-to-face out there in the field with people, very, very learning environment. At the Global Health Connections, you believe that healthcare is a human right. There may be viewers out there that don't feel the same way. What would you tell them, Blair?
Well, come on over to Haiti with us, and you'll understand why we say that. There's plenty of money in the world to provide basic health care to everybody, and it will make a tremendous difference. It's good for these people in terms of their ability to live a normal life, actually be more productive, build up their economies, etc. Plus, with Judeo-Christian values that we seemingly have in the United States, it seems to me to make sense that we should help out those who are most in need. But as I say, the United States certainly has plenty of money to provide basic health care to everyone. What we do in the States is profound, and so what we're doing is we're taking a lot of our ideas and our resources and applying them around the world. 4 out of 7 billion people on the planet live on less than $2 a day. They need help, and they have access to little or no health care. If we can provide them with some basic health care, it can make all the difference in their lives.
Karen, let me ask you, as a volunteer, I mean, I've got my kids that want to volunteer for things. They're busy. They year-round doing homework, school, everything like that. How does that fit in when it comes to a program like this?
Okay, for the Global Water Challenge here in Denver, it only involves a couple of hours in the spring and in the fall. You could be just a mentor and have just attend a classroom and help a group of students decide what they want to research, and then that's done. That's an hour or two. Or you can be a judge and you go that day, and that's several hours on a Saturday. But you can be as involved as you'd like to be, and we would welcome more schools in our reach. So if you've got contacts in schools and you know teachers, middle school teachers that are interested in teaching this curriculum, we'd be happy to talk to you.
Wonderful.
One other note on that is one of the things we're so proud with the Global Water Challenge is our ability to expose some of our public school students to higher education. Particularly our spring challenge is held at the University of Colorado, Denver area downtown. For many of these kiddos, they have not been on a college campus before. So these are sixth graders that are now really seeing higher education. The groups they have been working on and the project they've been working on is much and much more abstract than probably things they've worked on in the past. And we're also just seeing the excitement in them to really think through the ability to go on to college and career paths. Some of the kids and the skits that they do, they really emulate what they're interested in. I noticed one winner last year, a young woman who was interested in ultimately becoming a lawyer working on the reality of water rights and issues and how they affect parts of our developing world.
It's kind of exciting, like I say, for a lot of the kids that aren't exposed to that higher education like that. It makes it exciting. Wonderful. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. First of all, on the website, you can take a look at the mission that began back in 2003, really connecting Coloradans to the world through public health projects. You can take a look at their Facebook page. They'll keep you apprised of all the events and the programs they've got going on out there. And obviously, the most important thing is definitely ways that you can get involved as well. Not not only with monetary donation, easily done right there on the website, but you can also volunteer the program as well. As we said before, Karen, this is a nonprofit. To bring people together, to help connections come together, it takes resources. What are some of the ways that folks can get involved out there to really help out?
Well, definitely volunteering your time, but then always money goes a long way. It's hard to take materials and the education we have here over to another country, or it's even hard to dispense good education here in Denver and in Colorado and the United States as well. So money helps, but if you've got connections to people who might have, if they're interested in having their organization do a corporate responsibility sector, we would be open to that. We would always take those kinds of initiatives, and as well as if there's like charitable donated funds.
So a lot of ways that people really can get involved and back up the program.
But definitely with the Global Water Challenge here, if they're from Colorado or from Denver, we want to reach more schools, have more competitions, do more education, because really at the end of the day, it's education that really lasts.
That you did, they'll actually, if they catch that, they'll pull it in.
If people have access to donor-designated funds through Fidelity or whatever investment organization they use for their personal finances, they can make a donation that way too.
We are a volunteer-based organization, so most all of our money goes directly to the people we're trying to help out. As a result, we have many young people that volunteer with us because they know they can make a difference, and the monies that we do collect go to the people that are in most need. So I think it's a real good picture of real good way to attend to development. Get out there, get young people enthused, have them get involved, get them out into the world, and make sure that the money gets to the people that it's supposed to get to.
Excellent. Speaking of getting out there, Blair, you are known for basically international field work. You've been doing this for over a decade. Does it still get you excited to actually get out there in the field and see some of these students, kind of see some of the passion in their eyes? Is this kind of your way of giving back?
Well, it's certainly my way of giving back, but beyond that, the students give so much more back to me. When I see the enthusiasm, when I see the transformation, when I hear from students from 15 years ago that went on a trip to me to Vietnam back in 2003 was one of my first trips, I still hear from those students, and I can feel the enthusiasm. If anything, it keeps me younger. So I'm not giving to them. They're actually giving much more back to me, and it makes me really enjoy what I'm doing.
And that really is the case with volunteering. It's really, you end up going out to give and you get quite a bit back in return. Viewers, last time, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. You're going to see their website. Take a look at the staff that has grown since 2003. They have many events out there, programs, many ways for students to get involved and to basically volunteer. Once again, a lot of ways to give back. I mean, as simple as going to Amazon and basically buy what you normally do, but get a percentage that goes to this program here. You can also buy some beautiful Haitian art out there that will give back to the program as well. Once again, that is the Global Health Connections, connecting Coloradans to the world through public health projects. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.